everyone, welcome back to Unknown Videos. I hope you're having a great holiday season and have some great plans for the new year. Speaking of the new year, I think we can all probably agree that 2017 wasn't the best year on record. And we are probably all wishing that 2018 will be way better. Wait, didn't I say that last year? Anyways, so yeah, maybe this year wasn't great, but I did some research and me being my optimist self thought I would share the 5 best things that happened in 2017. I'm getting a phone call. This is awkward. I also hoped, being my Canadian self, that some of the items on my list would be Canadian in nature, and everything I found on the internet were really American. It's all American. What is going on in the world? I know there's lots of great Canadian stuff going on though, so I'm gonna try to fit that into this list. So without further ado, and hopefully without any more outbreaks, here are my top 5 awesome things that happened in 2017. Keeping in mind that these things are not really in any particular order because they are all great. My number 5 pick is the Little House Revolution in Detroit. So, in Detroit, because there is unfortunately a high population of people living in low-income situations, they had to come up with a unique and innovative housing strategy, which I think is great that they are tackling this issue instead of ignoring people living in poverty and who are experiencing homelessness. So they came up with these little houses. They're pretty tiny, but really nice inside, and people can actually rent to own them. So instead of having to put a huge down payment on their house and having a mortgage, these people can rent to own their house, and then the 3 years they will own it, be able to get out of that house to something even better, and then the next person can move in, and the cycle will continue and hopefully perpetuate people out of poverty, which I think is pretty cool. My number 4 pick is this music program that is starting to take place in jails in America, where people go in and teach music workshops and skills to inmates who then have the opportunity to put on a show. This is really awesome because we tend to dehumanize people who have conflict with the law without really taking the time to understand why they are in jail in the first place. So I think this program helps add some humanity back to the jail system. Also, in my experience with music, and I'm pretty sure we could find some research articles proving it, music helps build empathy and emotional connectivity, which can then help people when they leave the jail system to not end up back in there. Which is great because the less people in jail, the better, and the more people contributing to society, living meaningful life is always great. Number 3 is Fiona the Hippo. So Fiona the Hippo was born in a zoo in Cincinnati, and she was actually born premature, which was the first time humans have ever kind of helped raise and save a premature hippo. And I just thought this was really cool because I'm not a huge fan of zoos or holding animals in captivity in general. It's a little bit specious, if you ask me. But I think it's awesome that something good came of it, because if Fiona's mom wasn't in the zoo giving birth, then she likely wouldn't have been able to save Fiona, and Fiona could have died. So at least this time our human mandolin did some good, which is always nice to see. Also, everyone seemed to be in love with Fiona. I mean, look at that face. It's adorable. So, everyone wins in this case, and hopefully Fiona and her mom and dad will live a happy life, even though they're in a zoo. Number 2 is the protest going on in the airports to push back on Trump's ban on Muslim people. I'm sure most of you were aware of this. It was all over the news when Trump first decided to try to ban people from, I believe, 7 countries that have a majority population of Muslim people from entering America. There was a big pushback in the airport, lots of people supporting those who were being detained just because of the country they were traveling from. It was really great to see humans coming together. And finally, my number 1 pick is the Women's March that initially happened in January after Trump's inauguration. It was a great event because it brought together a lot of people, women, men, gender non-binary folks, trans folks, all with a common cause. And I read there were triple the amount of people at the Women's March as there was at his inauguration, which is cool. And then also it inspired marches across the country and across the globe. I had the opportunity to join one here in London, and it was a great experience. I mean, the march has some inherent flaws where people felt unwelcomed or not represented. For example, a lot of women with disabilities, and I heard some trans folks were feeling excluded due to the pussy hat thing that was going on. But in concept, the march was great because it brought together lots of people for a common cause. And I think it inspired a lot of other protests that happened throughout the year. I mean, there was even a Juggalo march on Washington, which I didn't even know anything about, but apparently people who are fans of the band Insane Clown Posse are being prosecuted as gang members because they like the band and listen to their music. Like, I think it's extremely long, so I will probably do a video just on that alone, because I'm extremely interested now, but I will digress by saying I love how so many people are coming together and great things are happening as a result of tragic circumstances. So thanks for watching. I really hope you have a very happy New Year and can spend it with family, friends, loved ones, your dog or cat, whatever makes you happy. And I look forward to seeing you next year. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye!